If you've been giving watercolor a go and feel frustrated often, you need to hear this. Ready? Painting badly actually is the secret to getting better. You need to flip the script on all of those botched paintings, and instead of focusing on their yuck factor, concentrate on what they taught you. Okay, you've probably heard this before in some shape or form, but here is actually how we do this and still enjoy the painting process along the way. We're gonna get right into it today, friends. Like, seriously, you're just gonna need some supplies, some paint, some brushes, and your favorite paper. And we're not gonna use anything specific, you're just gonna grab something, trust me. All right, let's go. Number one, I want you to think of something to paint. For me today, it's dahlias. All right, now number two, I want you to grab the absolute worst brush for the job. Like, think of the brush you would never choose and use that one. I'm not kidding. And for me, it's a liner brush. Yeah, just think about it. Dahlias and a teeny tiny skinny long bristled brush that's easily making you feel out of control. Yep, that's the brush I'm gonna use today. Okay, now it's kind of simple. Like, just paint like your life depends on it. Like, take this seriously. Now, up to this point, if you've been considering painting along with me, but you haven't started yet, this would be a really good one to actually paint with me. So go ahead and pause, grab all your stuff, and truly just paint from your memory. Don't worry about an inspiration photo unless you want to. Either way, it doesn't matter. It's really not about what you paint. And this is only gonna take a couple of minutes, as long as you'd like, really. Because trust me, you can learn a whole lot when you're frustrated. It doesn't take long. All right, so as I paint, let's chit chat about what you should be noticing as you paint. Number one, first and foremost, super important. What feels wrong about this painting, the brush you're using, how it feels on the paper, all the things, and when does it feel wrong? So you might be thinking things like, gosh, I wish I could make a larger, thicker stroke right now, and I'm having to do 3 and 4 and 5 times the amount of brush strokes to get what I could get with something else. You might be thinking things like, wow, this brush feels really out of control. I really wish I could get a little more precise right here. I think you see where I'm going, but it's important to actually evaluate and maybe even take notes on the things that you are struggling with, what feels wrong and why and when it's happening. Okay, number two, as you're painting, when something specifically feels difficult, what brush do you imagine using that would make it all feel better? So I'll tell you what, right now, honestly, anything but this long, skinny, bristled liner brush would feel better. But most specifically, I would say a 3/4 inch flat wash brush or my 1/2 inch dagger would definitely improve things and make this whole experience go a lot smoother. I feel like I'm getting interesting results, awkward looking, but interesting just the same. But I know I could be getting graceful, kind of elegant brush strokes if I were using specifically different brushes. Number three, and this might be the most important question to ask yourself during this exercise. What makes it easier as you are using the wrong brush? Naturally, as you progress through this strange painting experience, your body and your mind are going to work together to figure out ways to make things better, easier, and look better on the page, even though you're using the wrong materials. So, did you change the angle of your hand, the angle of your brush? Where you might normally do an upstroke, did you go to a downstroke? Did you shift your paper around? I'd love to know what you're thinking if you're painting along with me or if you've even tried anything like this. What are some tricks that work for you when you're struggling in the middle of a painting? What things do you try? Head to comments and let us know. And while we're taking a little breather, if you think this particular video so far is interesting and you're kind of having a good time, go ahead, give this video a boop, friends, that's a like, and it really helps others find this channel just like you. Okay, number four, what about your setup? Do you need to change to help facilitate using this bad brush more effectively? So this could be things like changing the height of your desk or using a different desk or standing up, or maybe using more water than you normally would on the page. Maybe it's spraying down your palette more often, painting smaller, painting on larger paper. Now let me say this, it's not like you're gonna stop this painting experience and try all of these things I'm mentioning here. But the whole point, the whole reason this exercise can be so incredibly powerful is this. All of these creative watercolor workarounds, as I'd like to call them, that you're using to kind of figure out how to make this awkward painting experience more successful are the same type of workarounds that are going to really propel your painting experience and ultimately the satisfying result of your painting experience, even when you're using optimal tools, materials, and supplies. So this exercise is really about getting better acquainted with how to evaluate a frustrating, troubling situation and make it better with what you have in your control to make it better with. Now I really feel like watercolor is just a whole lifelong test and a series of building habits that really build up your resilience. You become a lot less impacted by challenges. It becomes a lot harder to get flustered and frustrated as you build these really incredible habits that kind of give you a thicker creative skin, so to speak. All right, how do we feel about this? Okay, actually, how do we feel about this painting? I mean, I want to hear what your thoughts are. Literally, I painted this entire thing with the crazy liner brush, and it has some moments. It has some moments that feel redeeming to all of the moments that are absolutely tragically strange and silly and weird. But again, that's not the point. The finished product isn't the point. It's all of the middle and in between marginal things that are happening that are teaching you so much in an exercise like this. This exercise is really, really close to the benefits of brush drills. And so next, I think you should hop into this playlist and get your brush drills on, friends. And until I see you next time, I wish you happy painting.